Well, hey everybody, it's your good buddy 650 Eve here, coming to you from Sills Motor Sales near Cleveland, Ohio, for another new bike build series video. Today, Zak the Master Mechanic is going to install an Ohlins steering damper onto our 2021 BMW S 1000 RR, and he's going to explain why you might consider replacing the stock unit with this fantastic Ohlins MOTO Million product. This is leading up to us offering that motorcycle to one of you amazing people for supporting the new bike build series. Information on how you can join our Patreon family and perhaps win this motorcycle is down below in the description. If you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button. For returning subscribers, tap that bell and you'll get notified when new content is uploaded. It's actually warm out here in beautiful Cleveland today, 50 degrees, but I'm gonna head inside right now and see what Zak the Master Mechanic is up to.
Hey, we're back. Another new bike build series video.
Yes.
And we're just gonna install a quick and simple part today, but we're gonna show what it does first and why we like to upgrade this particular part.
Okay.
And what it is, it's in this Ohlins box. Is it a rear shock? Is it the front forks?
Oh,
no.
No, I don't think so.
I think all it could be is a steering damper.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
I like the gold adjustment thingy.
Yeah, and I believe, let's see how many you get.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
So 10 that way, let's go back the other way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
Wow.
So you get like 22 adjustments.
Oh.
Where on our stock one, which is mounted up here on the motorcycle, it mounts between a frame and a steering part of the motorcycle. So it could be the fork, it could be a triple tree. In this case, it mounts to the lower triple tree over on this side, you can see.
Yep.
And it's mounted to the frame in the center. A lot of times on older bikes, when they didn't come with steering dampers, you'd see them mounted from like this part of the triple tree to the frame here.
Yeah.
And they'd be sticking out the side of the bike. It's just because it was ease of mounting and ease of adjustability. Then they went to electronic ones for a while. Honda still uses the electronic steering damper.
Yep.
And so do some other companies. So it's supposed to be speed sensitive. That way, because of the way a steering damper works, it can be hard to steer at low speeds if you have the steering damper cranked up. So you should get the best of both worlds with the electronic, but they kind of found that it doesn't keep up quick enough to stop the head shake. So yeah, the whole reason we have a steering damper is when you have a short motorcycle, it'll turn really quick.
Okay.
So you want to be able to make the motorcycle turn as fast as possible, especially if it's a race bike and you're trying to get lap times.
Yes.
Problem is when you get out of that corner and you're in a straight line, when the motorcycle's short, it puts a little shimmy into the front end and can create what's called head shake.
Yes.
And you can wind up in a full lock-to-lock situation. Let me see if this turned down. You can wind up in a full lock-to-lock situation, which is not ideal. It can actually put the whole motorcycle out of control because the wiggle will come through it. Yeah. If you've ever ridden an old 929 or 954, you've definitely felt it at some point in your life.
That bike was lightweight dangerous.
Yeah, it really was. So they changed something between, I think just the power changed between the 929 and 954 and the geometry a little bit and the steering head bearings. And that's what put that in there. And Honda's fix was just to change the steering head bearings. It didn't really work. They should have just added a steering damper.
Were you working on bikes back during that time?
Yeah.
Wow.
Definitely. And then, so another style of steering damper is made by Scott's. And it'll go off the gas tank and it goes to the top.
They're kind of gold,
tree.
Right?
Yeah, they're gold and you get the dial right up top.
Yeah.
So that's kind of nice. You can adjust it on the fly more so.
Yeah.
This style you definitely can't adjust on the fly. When we have the steering stabilizer, we can get the best of both worlds. We can have the short bike and we can crank our steering damper up so it becomes difficult to turn the front wheel.
Yes.
And it will stop that oscillation from happening, hopefully.
Okay.
Another time you can wind up with that oscillation is when you come down from a wheelie. It helps when you set the motorcycle down. If it catches just a weird groove in the road, a lot of times it could put you in that head shake, which is real bad. Yeah. And it helps prevent that. So back to how it functions then, you turn this clockwise, counterclockwise. Our stock one, we only get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We only get 12 adjustments. So our Ohlins gives us more adjustment in the middle there. So that's always an upgrade. So if I have it low, I can get lock to lock real easy.
Yes.
Hopefully you can, I wish I had a scale or something, but I don't.
Yeah.
So if I go full all the way to the right and put the damper in its stiffest position,
ooh, it's tough. You got to fight.
Look how long it takes me to get. Yeah. So that's what it's, and you can hear it working. Yes. So it's a hydraulic unit. It works a lot like a shock. It has valving in it. It's just controlling the speed of this with fluid flow control. Okay. Ohlins does the same thing. They probably just have a different shim package. We have seen a handful of these stock BMW ones leak, And also they wind up blowing through the stroke, which is really bad.
Oh.
Leak's a little easier to see. You're like, oh, it's leaking oil. The way that you could tell that it blows through the stroke is when you have this in the full tight position or hard position and you're turning in your garage, it'll fight you, and then all of a sudden it doesn't fight you anymore.
Yeah.
And that's definitely a sign that your steering damper is bad and you should bring it back. I mean, that's covered under the 3-year, 36,000 mile warranty, so you can get another stock one covered under warranty for sure. The Ohlins unit, I'm not sure what it costs. I think it's in the $250 range.
I don't know. We'll have to look it up.
We can check it up
site.
on Moto Million, yeah. And you might have them, then the labor should be covered by warranty, and you would just have to pay for the part, depending on how nice your dealership is. I can't guarantee they would do that, but I would definitely do it. If you're in the area here at Sills with our cool new t-shirts.
Oh, those are awesome.
Let's take a quick peek at the Moto Million website, why not?
I want one of these shirts.
You have to go next door and grab one.
Okay. What is the bike on the back here?
It's a GS because it's the Swiss Army knife of motorcycles.
Oh, wow.
All right, so we got it up on the Moto Million site. Just clicked on K67, which is the motorcycle we're working on, and $395 you can see is the price.
$395.
I don't think there's any color choices or anything. Looks like it's in stock, so that's nice.
Plus the 650E discount will be less than that.
Yeah. And with Ohlins stuff, it is fully rebuildable too. So if this unit wound up leaking, you can find an Ohlins authorized repair center and get it fixed. Well, that's enough talking for now.
Okay.
Let's get this part on the motorcycle. Pretty much all we got to do is pull this air guide out of the way and then remove the 2 bolts that hold our stock damper on. I don't think you're really incorrect if you say dampener as opposed to damper.
Is it sort of like aluminum and aluminium?
I think so. I mean, there's a whole nother letter in there and they do kind of mean different things, but you are dampening the oscillations and you're putting a damper on them as well. So I don't know. You guys can argue over that.
Al, what do you call it? Dampener or damper? Damper? Thank you, Al.
It's listed as a damper on the website, so.
Okay. I just wanted to get Al to speak, that's all.
Oh, okay.
So, mission accomplished.
They did switch to putting Loctite on these bolts, so they're kind of a pain to get out now.
Oh. Red Loctite or blue?
No, it's like a green micro-encapsulated is what they call it. It comes with a factory Loctite.
Okay. They use fancy words.
If the person that put your bike together put them in the right spot. They probably just put them wherever.
Okay.
I'll show you what I'm talking about. Because they look like every other fastener, they just have this green liquid on the threads. Bluish green. So if you look, you can see that bluish green stuff in there.
I do.
That's called micro encapsulation. It comes from the factory with that Loctite on it.
Yep.
So 2 screws, it gets that out of the way. And you also have to take that off if you like to use the kind of front stand that goes up in the bottom of the triple tree.
Yeah.
You still have to pull your brake line out of the way, but then you can get it up on the pin lift stand.
Okay.
Your pin would go in there. That's the one bummer with the BMW bike, not being able to use that pin lift stand because the brake line's right in the way.
Right.
And the pin lift stand lets you work on your wheel, on your brakes, and get your forks off your motorcycle.
Why would they do that?
And it's a little more stable. I don't know. It's kind of weird. You think they could have found another. They are also known for like putting that brake line, drilling out the triple tree and everything to the passageways in there. I don't know why they didn't do it.
T45 bolts, huh?
Yep. You don't have to have the front wheel in the air to do this either. I just had it up to show you.
Okay.
Should probably put it back on the bench, make it easier. In the previous gen bikes, the steering damper was made by Saks, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
This one, it switched to a different company. I don't even know what it is. It's like ZF MOTO or something.
Okay.
We'll take a look in a second, but I'm not sure what it stands for. Yeah, ZF.
ZF.
Definitely not as quality as a unit as the previous gen, I would say, just from what we've seen. You can also, here's another example of how it's hard to move this rod. Yeah. And then I can turn it off. Actually, it's going to get harder now. It's even a little bit slower. All right, so now we got our Ohlins box, wherever that went to. And it should have all our necessary instructions and adapters and bolts if they replace them. It's a pretty basic install. The most important thing you need to do when you're done, which is easier with the wheel in the air, is make sure that you can turn the bike the full travel without any restriction from your steering damper. If you get it set to one side or the other, you'll have a restriction. We're gonna want to put a little blue Loctite on these fasteners. There's a small clear washer that goes on this side, don't forget it. Oh, going to the wrong spot. There we go. be a little stiff because there's still some Loctite in there.
Is there torque specs for that?
Yeah, it says to use the vehicle manual, so it's just going to be the stock torque spec. We'll have to look it up.
Okay.
And then on this side, we're going to have a washer and a spacer that connects to our lower triple tree. Spacer goes in between here. We're just going to get everything in position and snug, and then once our final adjustment's set, we'll tighten everything up.
Okay.
This ball pivot should still be allowed to pivot like so, even once you're snug, so that's good. Now this is where the adjustment comes in because our bracket can still slide. So we want to make sure that when we're all the way at lock there, we're actually going to need to slide the body of this that way a fair amount. Because otherwise, if I can hold this in position here and show you. As we come in, we'll run out of travel on this. Let me turn this damper down. I think we have it turned up all the way. Yeah, we have it turned up all the way.
Yeah.
So if this body is too far over, look, now I can only turn the handlebars that far, so that'd be no good. So we want to bring this in, set it to the lock there, and then we can tighten up the 2 pinch bolts on the mounting bracket itself. And they're only 6 Newton meters, so don't go too tight initially. And since there is 2, you're going to want to bounce back and forth as you snug them up. And now let's see. So you can hear we're hitting the steering lock there.
Yep.
And we're hitting the steering lock there, and nothing's binding on our damper. And with this damper in the 0 position, there's absolutely 0 resistance. There was a little resistance, so that's pretty crazy. If you're riding around in parking lots a lot, this is steering damper for you.
Yes.
Lance. Okay, so we should be able to grab the torque wrench now, get everything torqued up, and they suggest on the back here adjusting it 10 clicks. We'll probably go about 12 or 13 clicks and let it go at that. If you do have it set super stiff, you might want to tell anyone else that's riding your motorcycle just so they know, because you notice it at slow speeds that you can't turn the motorcycle.
Yes.
And sometimes that's not a nice surprise. 3 times should get it. You can see the last time it just went right to torque right away.
Yes.
That's what you want to see. And then I got to look up the specs. It's probably 19 Newton meters, but should probably be safe, right?
Absolutely.
Well, I was right. It was 19 Newton meters. But
19.
Good thing we double checked.
Yeah.
Always want to make sure we're doing it to the right spec. Okay. All right. And that's everything holding it on. Let's turn this into the prescribed 10, 11, 12. We'll put it at 12. It has a little bit, not much going on there. I'll actually turn that up a little more. All right, that should be good. Cool. Now we just put our air guide back in place and successful install.
Lovely.
Unfortunately, hiding the beautiful piece of artwork that we just put on.
That beautiful ThyssenKrupp carbon fiber wheel.
Heck yeah. We just finished getting our steering damper installed.
Yep.
Everything makes it lock to lock, so we can go ahead and put this back down onto the bench. And unfortunately, it's not much to look at, but a performance upgrade that you can feel while riding.
Absolutely. So, well worth it, in my opinion.
Yeah, a lot more adjustability, better reliability, and performs better overall when needed to perform. So that's why we installed it, and this is just turning out to be one heck of a motorcycle. Yes. Can't wait for the weather to change around here and get back out and take it for a ride.
Yes.
Yeah, and just looks phenomenal, all the way down to the kickstand.
The kicking stand, yes. It does look great, carbon fiber. Yeah, Zach, that's amazing.
And it'll get cleaned up. It'll get full detail treatment, correct?
Yes, it will. The rehab detailing.
Rehab detailing. They always do a great job. They clean the motorcycle and then apply their ceramic coat to it so it's protected.
Yep.
And that ceramic coat also just brings out the carbon fiber in the wheels, chain guard especially.
Yeah, makes it look 3D.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, that wraps up today's episode. just wanted to get a quick one out there for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it and learned something about a steering damper, or damper, however you want to say it. And we'll catch you guys in the next video, where hopefully we're going to be installing an awesome Brembo brake system from the calipers up to the master cylinder.
Ooh, yes.
And it's going to really change the look of the bike and how the brakes feel.
Yep. Cool, man. Thanks, Zach, man. You heard the man. This is leading up to us offering this motorcycle to one of you amazing people viewing the video. If you're not a patron, come on, join our patron family so you can have an opportunity to win this motorcycle when its names are randomly drawn here real soon. All right, folks, thanks so much for viewing the video, and we'll catch you next time on the 650EB YouTube channel. What an amazing motorcycle.